Hi there, I'm Mr. Bill Berry, and today we're diving into something fun, unlocking coordination. Some skills can be practiced and improved, while others, well, they might just be built into your DNA. Can you pat your head while rubbing your belly? Wiggle your ears? Curl your tongue? Snap your fingers? Some people can, some people can't. But what about the gray areas? The tricks that sit right between talent and technique. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, we'll have your hands and fingers working in ways you never imagined. Or have you? You want to see something funny? Look at that! We have a guest in the studio today, Mr. Dan Cooper. He just shot a podcast the other day. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing super. How are you doing today, Bill?
He had no idea I was going to put him on video. Oh. Before we jump in, be sure to follow my Patreon and get behind the scenes and exclusive access to content never before seen, because I haven't made it yet. But it's going to be awesome. So we're going to start with an easy one. Patting your head and rubbing your belly. I'm sure you've tried this one before. Everyone who's played around on the school ground, well, you've probably done this. So we start by patting the head and rubbing the belly. Give it a try. I know it seems silly, but stick with me. We got some good stuff coming. Now, can you switch them? Patting the head and rubbing with the other hand. Can you switch back? Switch again. Now, can you flip them? Can you rub your head and pat your belly? Switch them again. Rubbing the head, pat the belly. Switch. See, I'm rubbing both. Rub, pat. Be sure and practice that. Here's the next one, and I have to caution you because this one can be dangerous. You're going to take your right hand and grab your nose. Your left hand is going to reach across and grab your right ear. So your arms are crossed. And then you're going to very quickly bring your hands down and switch. Now the left hand grabs the nose, right hand grabs the left ear. And switch, and switch. Smack the legs, tap, tap, and switch. Tap and switch, tap and switch. Now be careful. I've seen people literally like kind of poke their eyes. Don't poke your eyes out. And do that a few more times. Here's the trick. Try to only think about the nose. Trust that the other hand will go, maybe grab the nose with the left, grab the nose with the right, and then just thinking about the right hand, thinking about the left hand, thinking about the right hand, thinking about the left hand. And that's how you get the nose-ear grab going. So now we start getting into the more innate traits. Can you wiggle your ears? And can you do it without making this face? Coming close. I don't actually know if that one's innate or if anyone can learn that. What do you think?
I know people who can't, so I think it might be one of those innate things.
One of those innate ones. Okay, Dr. Dan Cooper says that it's probably an innate ability. So if you can't wiggle your ears, don't fret. We have a trick coming up for you, because everybody can do at least one of these, I'm pretty sure. Can you flare your nostrils, where you wiggle your nostrils? I don't think I can. But maybe you can. Can you do it, Dan? Yeah? Yeah? Oh yeah, you can. Here, let's. That's pretty good. See, we're learning new stuff. Raise one eyebrow. I'm going to go back to Dan for this one because he's really good at this one. Oh! Can I do it? Let's see.
Oh, there you go.
Can you do the other one?
No. Okay.
So you can only do one?
Yeah, I can only do one. I can do this one. I'd struggle
Oh,
for the other one.
So yours is the left one goes up.
Yeah.
And for me, it's the right. I can do the right one, but then I try to do the left, and it's like, ugh.
A lot of effort.
I feel like I'm having a stroke. So try that one. That one's fun. Oh, snapping fingers. Can you snap fingers with, can you snap your fingers? Can you do it with both hands? Or if you're of superhuman ability, like my buddy Dan here, can you snap with multiple fingers? Whoa, dude.
Oh, I'm too sweaty.
Nice. That's impressive. I think I can do middle. Left is not so good. I can do middle, and I can do ring fingers, but that's where I cannot do index at all. That just doesn't.
but not in succession.
You can do the index?
Only when it's coming off the series.
Interesting. Huh. That's really impressive. What's that? Ooh. Let's see. Can you canoe the tongue? If you can canoe the tongue, can you flip the tongue over where you roll it over? And if you can roll it over, can you roll it both ways? I've seen people who can roll it one way. I don't know if maybe in one of the yoga classes where I was teaching this, I think there was one person who could actually roll it both ways. It was like, wow. And then there's the other one, they call it flower tongue, where the tip of the tongue actually pulls in. I'll put an image up of it. But the tip of the tongue pulls in and actually curls the tongue. I don't even know how you just like show that. Yeah. And can you gleek?
Yeah.
You can gleek. I do it occasionally. So if you don't know what gleeking is where, actually you're the doctor. You should describe what it. Hold on. Let me fire up this other mic. Let's just put you in.
All right, put me in, coach. So gleeking is disgusting, but what it is you're actually stimulating your salivary glands underneath your tongue. So you're actually bringing the tip of your tongue under and rubbing that space between your tongue and your jaw, which builds up some saliva. Then you curl the tip of the tongue up and then smash the whole thing down, and it just squirts out the saliva from.
Do it. It's a waterproof camera. Show them. Give them the 3D view.
There you go.
Did it?
Yeah.
Here. I'll give you some light. One more time.
You want to do it again?
Yeah. Come down a little bit so you're in frame. Oh! That was huge.
Oh my God. Good times.
See, this is what we're all about on this Patreon, learning new things. So I've done it accidentally. I've just been talking to someone, probably in the most embarrassing imaginable moments, and it just shoots out. Oh my gosh! So when I had my braces in, Gen Xer, like from the land before time, I had this orthodontist, and he spit when he talked, and he gleeked, and he'd be over you, and he was a talker, and you're sitting there with your mouth open, and he's talking, it's raining, I mean, like you're feeling his spittle like landing on your mouth. You're, oh my.
So wretched.
Wretched, that is,
yeah.
Oh, that is the term.
Something similar to that just happened in open lab. So I teach at a chiropractic college, and so one of the things we do at the chiropractic school where I teach is we'll have an open lab so students can come in and practice the hand skills that they're learning. And so, somebody's sweaty and a student comes over to me looking kind of distraught. I guess he's laying there and this person's working over him, sweating his ass off, and drips in his nostril. It's like hit him, like it missed the walls of his nostril, like hit him in a turbinate. I don't know if you know what a turbinate is, but the structures inside your sinus, like whacked him there. It missed the walls and smacked him so deep in his nose. And he comes back like, something happened to me, I gotta tell you.
Like a saline rinse almost.
Who knows how much sweat? Hopefully it was only one drop, but yeah. Kind of like a saline rinse with a single drip.
Oh my gosh. You can just hold on to that one at this point. Oh, I thought it was, can you roll your belly?
Yeah, I can roll my belly.
Okay, here, I'll film. Are you in?
Yep.
Okay, so you're rolling from top to bottom. Can you roll up to
No.
reverse?
No.
Can you do the one where, there's one where the abdominis like twists side to side?
No. The only other cool thing I can do there is draw the bottom end and poke out the top, which looks like that.
Okay.
Low is tough, but better at the top.
Okay.
And then I can roll that.
Can you do the exhale, like where you exhale and collapse and pull the diaphragm
Sure.
up?
So that's.
There you go. So turn sideways. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cool. So abdominal control.
Sure.
Well, and I imagine to some degree this is learned and also probably to some degree also.
I'm sure some of it is learned. I remember doing that as a little kid.
Yeah.
Like I figured it out somehow. I'm like, that's really cool. I'm gonna keep doing that. And I've been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a whole branch of yoga where basically you sit and you do all those exercises to learn to independently manipulate and move all that musculature. And some of the stuff they do, they can like literally bounce the diaphragm up and down.
Oh, wow.
I have a video of it. I'll show you.
That'd be cool.
It's insane. Yeah. And then we actually get to the thing that I was actually going to teach. Have you done triangle square before with me?
Yeah, I wasn't good at it.
Well, it's one of those things that does take some practice.
Okay.
So, so you don't have to do this if you don't want. You're welcome to stay on film. So triangle square, what you're going to do is you're going to raise your right hand. You're going to hold up one finger, and you're going to trace a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So once again, we hold up the right hand, one finger, and we trace the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now the left hand, we just went for a run. I'm like wheezy. So now we raise the left hand, one finger up. This time we're going to trace a triangle. It's easier if you do a right triangle, but you do you. So it's going to go down to the side, back up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So if you were doing that with us, that's fantastic. Right hand does the square, left hand does the triangle, and then we do both at the same time. So the right hand will do the square, left will do the triangle. After 12 moves, if all goes well, we return to the starting position and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
It's not working.
This one usually takes a week or two, like
Yeah.
if you worked on it every day. But I saw a video of a guy, not only did he do triangle square, but as soon as he got to the end of it, he immediately started it again and did the square as the reverse, the mirror image. And then he did another version that was harder that I'd never seen before. And he did that one mirror image. And then he did a third version of it that was even harder. And he did it in mirror image. And he did it just
So he's done it a couple times?
He just rocked it out. Yeah, so triangle, square, square, triangle, the other one. So, but I say all this to say these are great exercises for you to practice for learning to control and manipulate your body. This is the mind-body connection. This is how I think of it as we're almost like whatever we are like the crane operators, and this body is like the machine, and the more adept we become at operating this machine, the greater our capability. So it's good to practice and improve that connection and that capability of the body. So here's another one. In fact, I'm going to spring this one on you because we didn't. I don't know if this is one that everyone can learn. Some people just seem to know it. But can you make yourself burp on command?
Oh. I feel like there's a tiny one right there.
Yeah.
No.
No?
I mean,
can you sometimes, like if you're not full, or you probably ate before you came over here?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Just straight on command. I mean, I know I can. If I feel a burp, I can rip it, but I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if I can make one happen when I don't feel one coming.
So, I don't know how I discovered this. Like as a kid, like you said, we just explore as children. So for me as a kid, at one point I went, what's that? And I realized I was able to engage. I didn't call it my diaphragm at the time, but. And the more I do it, the more it stretches everything out. So I can pack it like a free diver.
So you're doing...
I can do the ABCs. Maybe not all of them. I had yogurt.
So you're doing epiglottal control is what you're doing. So your epiglottis is it's like a valve that directs air either into your, not air, it directs access to either your esophagus or your trachea. And it's how you would block off your trachea when you swallow, so you don't put food down your trachea and then you breathe it into your lungs. And so you're voluntarily controlling that valve, so you're diverting and allowing, when you pull air, you're allowing it to like slightly open. So as your lungs pull down, because you're talking about diaphragm pulling down, which creates negative pressure in your lungs, and so you're getting a little bit of a mismatch with that valve on purpose, though.
Right.
So you can put it down the esophagus into your stomach.
So do you think that it is an actual manipulation of the valve, or that I'm just creating so much pressure with my diaphragm that it's just pulling it open?
It opens the other direction, though. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
because I can do a thing where I can control my epiglottis too, and it just sounds gross. You're just going. So I'm breathing in, but then opening the valve. I don't know how. That's interesting. So I'm wondering how you're doing it and getting it to go into your stomach, because we're kind of doing something similar.
I have studied regurgitation, which is another one of these body manipulation techniques. Stevie Starr is probably the best living regurgitator, and I got to sit in the front row of his show, and I'm not in any way belittling what he does, because I believe 100% that a lot of the things he's doing are legit real. He's genuinely swallowing stuff and bringing it up. But I did pretty sure catch him in a little magic trick sleight that was just adding to the amazing talent he has to make it even just one
More
notch
spectacular, yeah.
even more spectacular. It's like taking a magician and then adding in this whole other skill set to just ramp it up. So I do think he uses a couple of little magic sleights, but the skill itself, he's legitimately putting stuff down and bringing it up, and it's incredible. And it has to be the same kind of control. He claims that in one of the documentaries on him that he learned it because he was bullied at school and kids were stealing his money, so he learned to swallow his money and then bring the money back up so they couldn't take it. Which, yeah, crazy.
I hope that's just a story. That's pretty extreme.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
thanks, bullies.
The stomach, yeah, right. Thanks. You make me famous. The stomach is really muscular, and so that's interesting. So he's, in addition to the epiglottal control, which is possibly part of that, sounds like he's voluntarily controlling its stomach muscles too.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen a stomach outside of the body, it's very wrinkly because it can contract, and when it expands, you have muscles that can allow it to contract. Since you can edit stuff, and you probably don't want to put this on your Patreon, an interesting thing about the muscularity of the stomach is that, and it's one of the reasons a lot of people will get acid reflux. So if you don't produce enough stomach acid to digest proteins that you eat, so that's one of the functions of stomach acid, one of the handful of functions for stomach acid. If it's not there, you're going to not be doing this pre-digestion that's happening before the intestines, and so your stomach will start to churn harder to physically manipulate the food to try and mechanically digest it, because it's not being chemically digested, and that only can happen because you have this muscular stomach that's able to contract. So it sounds like your dude is voluntarily contracting that to get things to come back out.
Okay. I worked on regurgitation for a little while, and I was able to, after about a week of practice, I could swallow water and at will bring water back up.
Oh, okay.
But then I started thinking about it a little deeper. I thought, wait a second, I am a sword swallower. I am an expert already at putting things down and keeping everything in the stomach down there.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to cultivate the ability to bring it up, because they're almost counterintuitive in a way. I've never seen, actually, I think there might be in Europe a sword swallower who also does regurgitation. So maybe they can be mixed. But I was concerned that I was going to maybe mess up my sword swallowing.
Sure.
And start throwing up every time I sword swallow.
Which would be really unappealing.
Really unappealing.
Probably not the crowd pleaser that sword swallowing is in itself.
Yeah, it takes away that control factor.
Yeah.
So, and then the culmination of all this, have you ever seen the Mr. Methane footage?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm going to put it on here for you so you can see it. So we'll actually get to see you reacting to it. I haven't opened these files in a while. Let's see.
How do you prepare yourself before you...
Have you seen this?
I've been upstairs in the dressing
don't think
room
so.
doing lots of stretches and warm-ups.
Okay.
So, and I've been tensing using abdominals, so we're now fully relaxed.
Okay, I see.
So, Okay, so what kind of activity are we going to see first?
First of all, I've got a little bit of fine talcum powder, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on my bottom so people can actually see that I am breaking wind.
Okay, so it's not a fake.
That's exactly,
okay,
because
well,
obviously people sat at home. These people over here, they've got what we call the ringside seats.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you one for level.
God, that has to be so juicy.
That was George Michael, that was. Careless whisper. A little bit of talc on the bottom. There we go. Like that.
Okay.
I haven't got a rear view mirror. Is the
it looks very nice.
Is it well covered? Okay.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Here we go.
Thank you. Here we go. Okay.
From 5.
Okay.
5.
4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Okay. And that was very nice. And
Oh God.
you are still going, I can hear.
I can hear
We're
him
going to
sucking it
celebrate.
in.
This is for the people at home who may, and people in the audience who may
Yeah.
have a birthday.
Dette er til ære for alle dere hjemme i de 1000 hjem som har bursdag.
We're going to blow the birthday cake, the candles out,
Okay.
one at a time.
Jeg merker at jeg har en veldig, veldig rar jobb akkurat nå.
Just down there.
Down
There we
there.
go.
Okay, 1.
Is this the last one?
Yes.
Make a wish.
Okay.
Well.
So that is Mr. Methane. And then,
Okay.
hold on, let me get a...
When you
And-
said that, I thought you said methane, but then I also thought you might have said methane.
Well, so he's
Yeah.
European, so he calls it methane instead of methane.
Right.
So you've never seen that before?
I hadn't seen that, no.
Okay, so when I do my yoga lectures, when they bring me in to do the 200-hour yoga teacher training as a guest speaker, a lot of the things we're talking about today are part of that presentation because this is all body control type stuff. And granted, it's one of the reasons I like to show that some things are innate versus learned is we have to know what is within an attainable place because we can practice it versus if you're trying to do something that just somebody has a natural ability to do, you may not be able to learn it, and especially if you start pushing the limits of things, that can get dangerous. So I like to show that there are certain things that some people will just be able to do that you'll never be able to do, but then there's all these things that are in the middle that you can work on and cultivate.
Right, like if you can get just a little spark of being able to do something, then you can work on it. If it isn't possible, there's just a disconnect there, then you're just, spinning your wheels.
Right, right. And then some of them I really don't know, like the burping thing. Every time I do this class, there's a handful of students in there that just immediately start burping. They can do it. And other students are, what? I didn't know about this. And I love the gleeking. That has to go. That has to go in as an additional thing. But what do you think he's doing?
So funny enough, I know what he's doing because I can do it.
You can do it too.
I can do it. I don't have to go on my back for it though. I actually would bend forward with my hands on my knees. I'd rather this not be in there. That's so embarrassing.
Well, so I can do it as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I have to get into doggy style position, like not flattering at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to get into puppy dog pose and have my ass up in the air. Yeah. And then I can do it.
Mine's standing, bent over with my hands on my knees, and so it's probably the same kind of physics that are happening to suck air in your butthole.
Well, the fact that he can do it that way, that's how he can do it.
Yeah.
So I've done this class for years now, and about half the time, after the class is over and everyone's left, one student comes up and they'll either admit that they can do it, or I've had two women come up and say, my boyfriend can do that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was super rare. But apparently, like, I didn't know you could do it. It's not the kind of thing you just talk about over the table.
Yeah.
So knowing you can do it and I can do it, he can do it, it's got to be like a
I can see that being something that would just be not talked about quite as much as other things.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a friend in high school that could do it too, and he did it in front of people, like in front of. We had a crew of friends in high school. We had a bunch of girls in this crew, and he did it in front of them. Like, holy shit, you did that? Okay, in front of me. Oh my god. But he's just more comfortable with me, I guess.
I've only on the rarest occasions, we went on a camping trip one time. We were all in our tents, and I don't know, one of the other guys in one of the other tents farted, and I was like, oh, it's on. So I did it, and I just kept doing it over and over until they're like, oh my God, like, what did you eat? Because they thought it was...
Yeah, it was building up.
Yeah, because the frequency and volume you can do it at when you can control it. I mean, you could just go.
Yeah, I feel like once you get, like, the first one's the toughest one, and then it's just going.
You gotta...
How do you relax the right way?
You gotta prime the pump. So, but this is all brilliant. This is the stuff that is perfect, A, for the Patreon because it's real, it's exploration of the body. We have so many social taboos and all these things. It's like, you know what? The body is fascinating. I mean, you're a doctor and a chiropractor and a body technician. Like, the body is amazing.
Yeah, and it is interesting because, I mean, people could tell me literally anything and it never phases me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just a person, so why would it? I mean, I guess some people it does phase and they're prudes or whatever, but also who gives a shit? Yeah. so shouldn't, and just from theoretical, like you should just be able to tell people the truth all the time and it should be okay. Yeah. And if it's got to do with your body, like they have the same body, so it should very much be okay because you have the same thing possible within you, so yeah, I feel you.
I like this subcategory, normalize truth-telling in all scenarios. Because you're right, if everyone just told the truth all the time, like there's movies that make fun of it, where like people show up for a first date and he goes, I'm incredibly uncomfortable right now because you are significantly more beautiful than my ability to attract. And she goes, wow, thank you for acknowledging that. You're also way below my standards in height and attractiveness, so there's obviously no chance we're ever going to sleep together. And it's a comedy, so we're all laughing.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing the movie. It was, gosh, who's the actor?
Was that the Jim Carrey one, or was that, because he did one where he had to tell it, or he had to say yes to everything, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them that touch on these radical honesty, and it turns into, like, when people are radically honest, it turns into a comedy.
Right, yeah.
Like, whoa.
Because we're so walled off.
Yeah.
To actually let it out is just, off the wall and outrageous.
Yeah. So okay, so here we have to make a goal here. We need to get a 5,000 seat amphitheater, and we're both going to demonstrate our farts.
We used to call it the suck fart.
The suck fart. Well, so I was just thinking of this the other night. One of the big things in yoga is pranayama, breath. So we're breathing in, and then we're engaging like the pelvic floor, and then I can also do the burp thing. So I'm breathing into my lungs. The burp thing allows me to breathe into my stomach in a way, and the fact that I can fart on command, it means I'm breathing into the pelvic. It's like, that's a full body breath right there.
Yeah, you're just sucking air everywhere.
Like a tire that needs to be patched. This went off in all new directions, which is fantastic. I love that. Thank you all for staying tuned and watching. There's some fun things for you to experiment with, and please leave in the comments below which of these things you can do, which are the things you think you could learn, and which we're always developing our understanding and knowledge. So if you think some of these are learnable and others are just innate DNA, leave it in the comments below. And if you're feeling super brave, if you can make yourself fart on command, like Mr. Methane, and Dan and myself.
Apparently.
You don't have to demo. We don't need a demo video.
Oh, I was going to say you have to shoot, send a video, but maybe it's your Patreon.
Hey, it's like, if you want to send a video, who am I to tell you no? But yeah, so thank you for watching. I'm Mr. Bill Bay. We got Mr. Dan Cooper over there, and he's working on some content creation as well. So as soon as his channel is up, we'll get him in for a few more. As you can see, he's a wealth of knowledge and a fun guy to have around. So we'll get him in for a few more interviews, and I'll get you directed to his content so you can follow him as well. Thank you. Y'all are awesome. Love you. More soon.